Hi, my name's Michelle Hunt, and this is EDL 850 School Law Module 1. A little bit about me. I am married to Jeff, and I've been married for almost 18 years now, and here's a picture of us. I have two children, Haley, who is 12 in this picture, and then Blaine, who is 2. We have 4 animals, Cookie, Doc, Phoenix, and Zoe. And then I love to spend time with my family, watching my daughter play softball, coaching, cheerleading, which I'm taking some time off from coaching right now, KU basketball, and the Kansas City Chiefs. Okay, I graduated from Ottawa University in 2007 with my undergraduate degree in elementary education. I then graduated from Baker University in 2012 with a master's in education with an emphasis on reading instruction. And now I'm currently enrolled again, which I've been called crazy, to get a second master's with a master's in administration. I currently teach at Eudora Elementary School in Eudora, Kansas. I'm a reading intervention specialist. I have taught grades 2, 4, and 5 in the classroom. Currently, though, I am doing reading intervention, and I have taught grades K through 6 reading interventions, as well as math interventions K through 6. This year, I am only focusing on grades 4 and 5. COVID has really threw us a curveball, so I'm really helping with those kiddos. I work with 9 teachers currently. I have half of 5th grade and then all of 4th grade. And I provide Tier 3 interventions and supports to the students and teachers. I support the teachers as an instructional coach, kind of, with Tier 2 interventions. My caseload this semester is 30 students, and I work on a reading team of 5 reading teachers, and that's us in the picture. Okay, so federal support. There are 4 guiding principles that define the role of the federal government. Number 1, the federal government makes sure that no student is denied the right to an equal education, opportunities based solely on race, ethnicity, gender, disability, or other protected status. The federal government should also provide compensatory funding to facilitate access to educational opportunities for high needs students, including but not limited to students living in poverty and students with disabilities. I am actually a Title I reading teacher, so I am paid through the Title I funds. The federal government should also support education research and development and the gathering and dissemination of that information. This should help guide policy. The federal government should, in a manner consistent with both its unique advantages and limited capacity, support the development and conditions to promote continuous improvement of state and local education systems. And I found all this under Harris. The federal government gives enough funds, and they fund around 10% of government-run schools. They can pass educational reforms, but they are regulated by the Department of Education. Due to the 10th Amendment, the majority of education is decided at the state level. It wasn't until 1965 that the federal government took a more robust role in education, and the federal government has implemented the Every Student Succeeds Act in 2015. Under President Obama, and this act requires all states to fully prepare students for college or be career ready when they graduate. State support. The state level, the state helps run the day-to-day operations. They hold school districts accountable, and they have their own Department of Education and can choose to give most of the decision-making to the local school districts. They establish educational standards and benchmarks, and the state provides for slightly less than half the school district's funding. And they also allocate lottery funds to schools, but this only replaces what the state was going to give them. Local support. the ability to decide how the local schools will operate. This is achieved by creating school districts. The districts then have a school board that is either elected or appointed. Then the school board elects a superintendent. This is similar to a CEO of the schools within the district. The school boards are in charge of implementing curriculum, hiring, and school calendars. School boards are responsible for funding the rest of the budget that is not covered by the state or federal governments. This includes local taxes, exemptions, and the affluence of the community. Who's in charge at the federal level? Miguel Cardona was appointed as Education Secretary on March 2nd of 2021. The Education Secretary is a paid position. This is him here. And they report to the President of the United States. And the Secretary is responsible for the direction, supervision, and coordination of all activities of the department and is the principal advisor to the President on federal policies, programs, and activities related to education in the United States. Who's in charge in the state of Kansas? Dr. Randy Watson is the current Education Commissioner for the state of Kansas. The Board of Education in the state of Kansas has 10 elected members. The members serve 4-year terms, and Janet Waugh is the current leader for the Douglas County District. Dr. Watson is paid for his job as the Education Commissioner, but what I did find interesting is the Kansas State Board of Education members are not paid, but compensated for anything that is accrued while they're doing their job. So mileage, things like that that are needed during their actual day-to-day of their job. Okay, so here is, my pictures will put me in the middle. Who's in charge in the Eudora School District? I work in Eudora, Kansas again, and our current school board has 7 members. This is them down here at the bottom. The members moving right to left is Mark Crislip, Heather Whalen, Joe Hurla, Claire Harding, Becky Plate, Lynn Reason, and Eric Votaw. Our superintendent is up here. This is Stu Mokel, and this is his first year in our school district. Our school boards, being that I am in a smaller district, I have had 4 of the board members' children with either in my classroom or coaching through cheer. So I know our school board pretty well, which makes it nice being in a small school district. School board members are not paid but work as a volunteer public service, but our superintendent is paid for his duties. Overall, the school board has the most power over our school district. Mr. Mokel makes the day-to-day decisions for our school district, but when it does come to decisions that will affect everyone, the school board then steps in to help. Component 6.1, the Evaluate, Develop, and Implement Management, Communication, Technology, and School Level Governance in the operations of the school is at the local level. 6.1 is all handled at the local level. That is going to be your day-to-day, everyday, what happens in your classroom, what happens within the district as a whole. That is going to be at the local level. 6.2, to evaluate, develop, and advocate for data-informed and equitable resourcing that supports school improvement. That is going to be at the state level. And then 6.3, reflectively evaluating, communicating, and implementing the laws, rights, and policies, regulations to promote student and adult success and well-being. That is going to be at the federal level. The correlation. This assignment helped me learn more about what is specifically handled at the federal, state, and local levels. I was able to put names with faces to the Kansas Board of Education members. I was also able to learn more about who is the Secretary of Education and what his role plays in our school systems. I thought this assignment was relevant. The assignment was important and relevant to this class because knowing where the decisions are made is important when studying educational law. I was able to really look into depth into who makes the decisions at each level, at the local, state, and federal levels. Here's my reflection. As I was completing this assignment, I found it pretty interesting, the history of education in the United States and where we started and where we are now. I also found it interesting that the State Board of Education did not get paid. This is always something that I thought that they did. So learning that was very interesting to me. I am also a negotiations team member for ENEA and work closely with our school board and our superintendent and build relationships with them. Knowing how hard they work and that our school board doesn't get compensations for their work makes me look at them in a different light. I always also assumed that they had some type of compensation. I have a greater respect for this position due to the time and pressure that this job takes. And as a future building leader, I will make sure to make a point to recognize all the work that the Kansas Board of Education and at the district level and what they do. Here is my references. And here's my other page of references. Thank you.